Incredible. Thank you so much, Nish. Yes, I'm here in a booth that actually, as I saw from a distance, I'm like, wait, what is that thing over there? And then I kept being busy and I couldn't come by here and check it out. But if you look here, we've got what I thought my initial response was, oh, they've scaled down a tower. So we could talk about some technology we're doing with a tower. But then I found out when I got over here, that is not a scaled down model. That is a life-size device, that's oversimplifying it, but there's a life-size tower that's being used in unique ways that no one else is doing. And so I want to talk about the partnerships that Cisco's brought together to make this kind of thing happen. And Niels, I would have you come in first. I know we're going to talk to a few different people, but I wonder if you could kind of highlight what is it that we're showcasing here and what's important to take away from it?
Sure, Rob. So thank you for having me and great to be here. I'm part of CDA, which is Country Digital Acceleration for Cisco. And this is maybe one of the perfect examples on how we digitally accelerate the transformation for national critical infrastructures by bringing multiple parties together, which we will talk about in a little bit. But we are really helping the transformation work for, how do you say that? The impact on the lack of people or the people that bringing multiple places to centralize operations for a complete country's air traffic environment.
So my understanding is, in a nutshell, this is a tower like you might expect people to sit in normally, looking out over the airfield with their eyeballs to determine what's going on, how do we make sure no one runs into each other, safety, it's running 24 hours a day. These are very critical jobs. They depend on critical infrastructure, but we're now bringing the infrastructure in to do this from a more remote standpoint so that they can extend the possibilities of what they cover.
Exactly, that's exactly it. So basically what we bring is augmented reality to life, using our technology and a broad country's fiber optic network to have these remote cameras make the centralized air traffic control feel as if they look out of the window in real time to different airspaces at the same time, while they're responsible for all air traffic for our complete Dutch airspace. And probably most of you that are here flew in with airspace on Schiphol, but there's a variety of smaller and medium-sized airports that we have in the country, which we centralize with this technology. And Cisco works out making that happen together from a CDA perspective on national critical infrastructure.
Very good. So CDA is Cisco's group for Country Digital Acceleration,
exactly.
I believe, and this would be an example of one of the projects. We were talking about the Metabus earlier, we're probably going to talk about it again, but these are all examples of Cisco bringing together parties that are sometimes hard to bring together, it feels like, to pull this kind of thing off. Now, I know there's a number of people here that kind of represent different phases of this project. Who should we talk to next?
If we talk to Edward right now, then he can explain a little.
We'll have you step aside. Thank you so much, Niels. Edward, tell me your name and what you're responsible for, who you're with.
Yeah, my name is Edward Schaap. I'm head of the CNS and Infrastructure Department for LVNL. LVNL is air navigation service provider. We're responsible for the safety use and efficient use of the Dutch airspace. And I think most people here at the Cisco Live event, I think they arrived at Schiphol Airport, so they must have been serviced by one of our air traffic controllers and landed in a safe way, so I'm very happy to do that.
Perfect, so we have you guys to thank. So what is your involvement in a project like this? What's involved and what's important to understand?
Well, what is important to understand is that Schiphol Airport is, of course, our biggest hub airport, but we also have quite a lot of smaller regional airports in the Netherlands. And we have like more than 500,000 movements at Schiphol Airport. But for the smaller airports, it's like 60,000, 50,000. And it's very difficult to keep the local facilities maintained over there. So we have the housing, we have the local infrastructure. We have quite some problems with staffing and having enough personnel for air traffic control, keep it in service. So what we're trying to do is, by using modern, innovative technologies, especially in the network infrastructure domain, we are bringing the services to Schiphol Airport. So we are, by using also the use of, by help of Concia and Cisco, we're modernizing our vital infrastructure nationwide. So we do that at the airport of Schiphol, we do that at the local airports, and we connect the different airports to our headquarters at LVNL at Schiphol Airport. By using the infrastructure, we are able to remotely control some services from central Schiphol Airport. So if you look at the camera mast here, there are 14 cameras inside of this tower, and this gives us 360-degree situational awareness.
Yeah. So there's cameras behind each one of these?
There's cameras in there, 14 around 360 degrees, and the air traffic controllers are able to remotely see the images coming from the cameras. It's 4K quality. And in such a way, they have like 360 degrees situational awareness for the smaller airports as well.
So this makes me think of the fact that you're also probably enabling smaller airports or someone that doesn't have the consistent traffic like a Schiphol. You enable them to maybe have more, better oversight over what than what they're used to, because now you got shared resources you can take advantage of.
Yeah, we have shared resources, so sometimes we have trouble in servicing all day long. So by centralizing it to Schiphol Airport, we are able to remotely control, and eventually we also would like to use one air traffic controller for multiple airports. Yeah. So as soon as we've installed this system and it's working operationally good, we can ask the controller to service different airports. So, and in such a way that's much more efficient from our side in costs.
Well, these are valuable people as well, so we have to enable them to do their job well. Thank you so much for your time and sharing the information. I'm going to have you're the integration partner, I believe, on this project. I wonder if you could follow me. I'm Rob. What is your name there?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. Thank you so much. I'm going to, so we're moving over here because of the sunlight and such, but actually I wonder if we could step over to the screens. Do you mind showing me a little bit about, as we explain what we have going on? I'm curious because the screens have been drawing my eye, fascinated with this, but can you tell us a little bit about what's been showing here? But first, let's start with your, who you work for and what you guys have been responsible for on this project.
Yeah, so my name is Jeffrey Denel, so I'm the CTO of Consia Netherlands, and what we are all about is 24/7 environments, right, that we serve, for instance in the Netherlands, but also Consia group-wide. And a typical 24/7 environment is what we're seeing here, right, it's the Dutch air traffic control. So I think it can't be more critical than this, right? And what you also see is a bit of digitization of this mission-critical environment. For instance, you're getting really the air traffic remotely controlled, right? So this is next level.
Yeah, no, this is fascinating. This is where it really sunk in for me. You were showing me earlier on these screens, and Steve, I don't know if you can see the screen okay here, but can you tell us kind of what we're looking at here? And feel free to change the screen. Do we need to move out of your way? We certainly can, but this is a live shot of an airport, and I noticed the screens look like they're stitched together to give us a better view.
It's the rounding, right, of the tower, right? And normally every camera has its own screen, right? And what you also see here is a drone. So the software also sees that's a drone, right? Instead of like this is a truck. So it really recognizes various devices, right? So it's more than just the camera. It's getting more also the software to have more interaction what it actually sees.
Yeah, one of the things I like is the fact that it's obvious it's tracking anything of movement, so it draws my eye. And then I noticed, not on this screen here, but earlier we saw a plane coming in for a landing in London, and it was identifying the flight number and other things like this digitally. I'm like, oh, I want this for my home surveillance. This is great. Is this UPS? Is it Amazon?
Great, right? Yeah. For home, for home situations. Yeah, but you see, actually, more and more airfields are getting the remote airfields. There is not a lot of traffic there, right? So it's good to have like remote airfields, remote towers there, and have it centralized, handled. So that's actually what you see. But also, very airfields with a lot of traffic, like London City Airport, also has one, right? So there are various use cases for this to do so.
Well, perfect. We're running out of time now, but I thank you. You guys have been fascinating. I'm sorry we missed a chance to talk to we were going to talk to the Dutch air traffic controllers, but this is fascinating. Guys, stop over here as soon as you can. Nish, we'll go back to you.